What is up? Welcome to a very special fashion edition of the TF Twins channel. We're talking twins, we're talking Carlos Correa, and yes, we're talking fashion today. Listen, when I go to Goodwill, and I want something, I ask how much it costs, and I buy it. That's how I got this sweater. That's how I got this amazing contraction era tie-dye shirt that looks like it was made just for me. Hey, bud, contract this.
I go to the mall and I go to the Dior store and I want something, I get it. I ask how much it costs and I buy it. So if you really want something, you just go get it. So yeah, I mean I'm the product here, and if they want my product, they just gotta come get it.
Woo-wee! Woo-wee! I think before we get going, I'll give the disclaimer. I like Carlos Correa. I would love to see him in a Twins uniform for many more seasons. But I'm just surprised more than anything that this happened. Because Carlos has been so good at saying all the right things, at just presenting himself as this guy who fits right in and loves this organization, and he's out at the state fair, winning big stuffed animals and just doing all this stuff to just win everybody over. And, not to say that I think people should be turning on him for this, but this was certainly, if he's going for that relatable guy who everybody's kind of wanting to keep around, this certainly is going to rub a lot of folks the wrong way. I can't disagree with anything in that statement, but that is probably not something that you want to be saying to the media. That's probably not a argument you want to be presenting to the fans. You could say that to Jim Polad, to Derek Foley, to Thad Levine, whoever you want to say it to who's involved in the process of retaining your services as the product here. But maybe you keep that one. Maybe you keep that one in your pocket. And I had to chuckle because Megan Ryan, Twins reporter, said that his neighboring locker mate, Billy Hamilton, said that's some big dog shit. But let's roll this back and discuss some about Carlos Correa's future, because that's been becoming more of a topic of conversation lately. And again, like I said, he's a very smart guy. And I think he, up to this point, has been saying and doing all of the right things in terms of, trying to present himself as this very likable guy who can come into a clubhouse and immediately make an impact and gel with guys. We've seen him forming a relationship with Byron Buxton. We've seen him mentoring Jose Miranda. So I don't want to make it sound like all that stuff was just fluff things that, he was just kind of trying to present himself in a certain way. That's all legit. And I think he's, represented the team well. He's having a great year. Unfortunately, especially early on, wasn't delivering in runners with scoring position situations. But I think that's just a weird thing. This guy's one of the best clutch hitters of his generation. An incredible record of hitting in the postseason. So I don't think that's really anything to really glob onto. It's a small sample size type thing. But anyway, what are the chances that this guy's going to be back? This dude wants to win. And, if things went better for the Twins this year, I think there would be a better chance that he would be more likely to want to have more motivation to stick around. Because this is only the second time of his career that he's not going to be in the postseason. That cannot be sitting well with Carlos Correa right now. He cannot be happy about that. Again, this is a guy who really wants to win. He had played in 5 consecutive postseasons. So this is a guy very much used to winning, very much used to being in October, and it's got a sting to not be there this year. He is still only 28 years old, and again, he's coming off a strong season. I know a lot of Twins fans think he's been underwhelming. I think that's maybe kind of people having higher expectations due to his advanced salary, $35.1 million. That's almost unfathomable. It is unfathomable, an amount of money. And if you look at Dior, go check out some of the prices of the store that he name dropped. Dude couldn't have just said Target, Carlos. You couldn't have just said Target. When I go into Target, no. You had to say some weird French store where ugly polo shirts cost $1,300. All right. The question becomes, okay, Carlos, yeah, you're the product. You're the big dog. You pay the price. Nobody wanted to pay that price last time around. So, you know what? Who's to say that things are going to be different this time around? And I think, it was an odd situation. It was a very weird offseason with the lockout and everything. There's a lot of other shortstops. There's a lot of things going on that contributed into Carlos Correa ending up with the Twins on this contract. But, who's to say that this offseason won't be weird or that things won't shake out differently? I don't know. At this point, I do expect him to opt out. He has to make that decision, I believe, within 5 days of the World Series ending. I think that's still the rules. They've changed a lot of stuff the last couple of years, but it's pretty close. There's not a whole lot of time. $35.1 million is a lot to walk away from. That amount makes him one of the top 5 highest paid players in baseball on a per-season basis. I don't think he'll get that if he's signing a long-term deal, but obviously he's trying to secure that bag. He's trying to guarantee that money. Because right now he doesn't have a whole lot of guarantee if all of a sudden he were to tail off or suffer some kind of a catastrophic injury. He doesn't have that security of that big long-term contract. And, the way he's been talking the last few days in particular, he's talking about, putting a ring on it basically the other day. So it's been coming up quite a bit. I think, it's pretty clear he's out for that long-term contract. He's out for that security. And I do think he's out for, winning. Now, maybe this year he might view things differently and sacrifice, going to a team he could envision being a contender next year in exchange for that security. Possibly. But either way, unfortunately, the Twins, I don't think, have endeared themselves to him in that regard of delivering a winning season. I think it's a very low percent, and it's always been this case. It's a lower percentage chance that he will be a Minnesota Twin next season. I'm not going to hold anything against Carlos Correa either way. He's right. When he boils it down, he's right. Whatever the price is for Carlos Correa, if the Twins want to keep him, they have to pay that price. So, I don't hold anything against him for saying that. He could have phrased things better. Phrasing, Carlos. So you let me know what you think. Thank you so much for checking this out, and we'll talk again soon. And we'll talk about what is another option if the Twins don't have that $35.1 million going to Correa. How can they reallocate that to something else? We'll talk about it. It's going to be a long, dark, cold winter. We'll have all of that stuff to talk about later.